Yo, for keys, this is day 134 of me playing chess every day until I reach the rapid rate game of 2500. So here we go. We have the game, we have the black pieces against a pretty strong 2100 rated opponent. I hope he will be online very soon. He is, so we should be starting the game. He plays e4, let me play my Caro-Kann defense, of course. d4, d5, the main line, and e5. This is probably one of the most challenging ways to play against the Caro-Kann, but not with bishop d3. This is simply not as strong as excuse me, some other options. Knight e2, I don't really feel like that's so strong. Um, I feel like developing with knight d7 cannot be bad. Castles and probably c5, right? This has to be correct. Simply and now simply takes. Um, and 97, 96, and we're probably better out of the opening. I mean, better. We are not better, but we are not worse. Definitely not here, I think. Um, okay, so this is the idea. We could probably just allow that and simply castle. If b5 I get the knight to c4, my life is easier then, I think. Um, and the other knight as well. So yeah, just bishop e7 maybe. We will pressure the center, and our game will be very simple. Our plan maybe even to play f6, take with the bishop, just pressure up the pawn with as many pieces as we can, and then this is my game plan. Queen g3, I don't really feel like it's the best move in the position. Attacking, yes, the pawn, but after castles, I'm not really scared of anything. Knight f3, I can probably play rook f8. I mean, excuse me, rook e8, excuse me. If bishop h6, just bishop f8. Um, yes, or knight f8 as well. Could be my idea. Oh, we could move the king, but I like rook e8 actually, and bishop f8. I mean, my bishop on f8 does the same job as the bishop on e7. I mean, yes, it stopped guarding the idea of knight to g5, but then I could simply take the bishop, which is not really true because of knight to e6, but okay, knight g5 is definitely a move here. Um, and then I cannot take the bishop. I can probably, no, king h8, hold on. Bishop g5, I can go probably back. Does he want a draw? Is the question. Maybe I have g6 as well. I feel like he's. I mean, if bishop h6, I probably have to go back, yeah? But he won't definitely be okay with a draw. But I could be. I have the black pieces against a strong opponent and we will simply play another game. But of course, what should play on, he's probably better. Slightly. At least it seems like that. With some pressure here. But yes, in the long run, I have these two pawns that I will be targeting. Also, the queenside attack might be happening, might not be happening. But yes, getting the knight to c4 is definitely one of my ideas. H4 is a nice move. I feel like, but I think I can simply take. If he takes with the pawn, I'm slightly scared, but he will just take with the knight, I think. Um, and after h6, I think I'm just fine, or even better is hard to say, but I cannot be worse there, I think. Taking with the queen, I take and I'm better. Taking with the pawn looks mysterious to me. Okay, h6, knight f4 takes, pawn takes. I'm probably just surviving there. So we have to go back. My position is solid. We have traded few pieces down the board, which is great for me. If I don't get mated, I will be pressuring this pawn throughout the late middle game and throughout the whole end game, of course. We are up on the clock, which happens very, very rarely, so we have to be proud of that. Um, I mean, it doesn't look like he can sack a piece here. Although f4 seems quite strong, but I don't really believe you. Would be my honest reaction. Even queen b6 just going after the pawns. Seems winning. g6 I can probably take, then play rook e8, or rook f8 even. But then my pawn hangs, excuse me. So I play rook e7 maybe. Or I move the knight, actually, I just take the pawn. Everything is guarded. Rook f7, I can take with check. We will see. My opponent, by the way, has a very poor connection, so maybe he's offline already. Just that the system of chess.com doesn't know that. Um, yes, hard to say. I mean, f4, I don't need to take the piece, by the way. I can play queen v6. After knight f3, I can take here, for example. But that probably is bad for me, yes. Although the knight is saying, what am I doing? My calculations are so bad. So yes, probably have to go back. I mean, knight h3 doesn't feel like should be as strong. I also have some queen b6 ideas right away, or even knight a5, knight c4. Yes, he plays knight h3, which, I mean, this is not really a threat. Queen b6, what happens? Knight f4 takes, and knight h5. G6, I feel like with my queen on d5, g6, I can just, after knight f6 take on f6 and I win the game. So yes, knight f4, I take, you take, I take, he plays knight h5 threatening mate, and I can just play g6 and after knight f6 I can just take and pick up the pawn. That's my calculation. I mean, queen b6 very logical. I'm also putting some pressure on my opponent's clock. I'm double attacking the both pawns. If you defend the d4 pawn, I take on b2 because after rook b1 I can just take the free knight and I win the game. So yes, b4 looks also fine, but I just take this pawn and you can probably start to feel like the game is turning against you after I get the knight to f5. Your pawn on h4 is misplaced, your knight on h3 is misplaced as well. You have no play with your f-pawn because this always opens this diagonal, which is very bad. Rook d1, as I mentioned, blunders the pawn. After knight f4 though, I can just take here and get the knight to f5, which still seems very winning. So yes, that's very short summary of the whole game, I think. Also, I have knight e2 and then take, and this pawn is also falling off the board. So yes, I think I'm winning. If he doesn't defend properly now. So the proper defense, I think, is queen c3, but maybe I might be wrong here. Hard to play this move, by the way, because you're simply misplacing your pieces completely. But yes, I mean, you have to probably play queen c3. Any other move, I think, loses a pawn, and if we did, probably the game. Maybe I'm miscalculating something. Knight f4, I clearly think it doesn't work. Knight h5, I take first and I win the queen. Probably have to take, but then I take here. Oh, I can not play g6, I can just take here, defend the mate. What am I doing? Yes, my calculations are poor. After f4 though, I give check and probably then play g6 and your knight is trapped. I just need to move the king and I take you. My opponent down in 4 minutes. What is he doing, man? I feel like this will be the game of commentary, by the way. But yes, my opponent has an excellent connection. He plays rook to d1, which I don't understand at all. I must be honest. Knight c3 though. But I'm still much better, yeah? I just go back. I'm not scared at all. Knight f4. A reasonable choice, I guess. How to play now? Knight h5 kind of threatened, not really. We could go here to get to f5, not to g6, of course. In case of knight h5, I can just play g6 as well. If I get my queen to f5, I think there is no way to checkmate me, so that means that I should be winning. This is not a threat at all. This also stops some ideas of getting to the b pawn, of course. So I feel like this move cannot be a mistake. There is rook d3, but I also have some sacrifices with my knight. I mean, I get 3 pawns for the piece, which is not as much, but I still feel like my position is not bad. Even if I sack the piece, which I of course won't do in any scenario, but it is good to have some observations during your opponent's time. Knight h5, I could also play queen g6, by the way, which feels kind of sloppy because it allows simple endgame for my opponent with this weak pawn on g6, with my weak pawn on e6 as well. But I'm up a pawn. So, yes, he plays rook to d3, which is interesting choice. Um, but this is not a threat. But is this a threat, by the way? I don't feel like. I'm getting maybe queen c2 was an inaccurate move, by the way. I might wanna sack a piece here, by the way. Not only because my opponent's clock is running so thin, but also so I feel like I'm getting some counterplay, which is hard to calculate with 2 minutes on the clock. So if I take, you have to take. I take, you probably play rook c3. I go here, attacking the rook. You go rook c1. I know it's a bad move, but I get the knight to c4. You cannot move the knight. I take. No, there has to be something better. Hold on. I might just go king h8. Here I go here. Here I go here. Probably. I don't know. My position now doesn't seem as good as earlier. But I'm up a pawn, so come mate me, yeah? Rook g8. Rook f3, rook f8. Or I can firstly take here, excuse me. And rook f7, I take on h5, and I probably win the game. Up a piece after takes and takes. Um, so yes, I mean, rook c3, I go just queen h7, maybe queen h5 as well. Both moves viable, definitely. Queen f5, definitely much better, yes. Now that I look at it like that, my opponent will lose the game on time. I mean, probably go here. If I go here, then this traps my queen, right? I still have that. Yes, now I go here. I think I'm just okay. If the rook moves, I can take this pawn if the queen is not guarding it. So yes, this pawn is weak, is what I'm trying to say. My knight is getting to c4. You have to mate me. There is no way that I won't win the game if you don't mate me. The no, I probably missaid that. The only way I lose this game is to I if I get mated. You cannot win enough material to destroy me, I think. Also, I'll probably like 95 at some point, maybe not yet. But 95 gives me so play that he will need to defend with 1 minute and 30 seconds on the clock, which is probably impossible. And I get a fairly good position. Just rook g8. Am I blundering something? My king is weak, but I don't think I'm blundering something. Knight f4, g6 wins. Probably the game there because the pawn is falling off. Yes, I feel like g6 maybe not the best move, but I like rook g8, so just defending the pawn. Here I played g6, of course, if takes and takes. Um, g6 blunders mate in one. Also, my pawn is hanging. Maybe my position is not that great. Could be the case. Definitely could be the case. Um, Wait. Is this a threat? I knight g7. Oh, but I can take and play king g8. I don't know. Can I defend the pawn otherwise? Not really. I feel like I'm gonna lose. That's my feeling right now, but yes, this whole plan with king h8 and bringing the rooks in was just tremendous, I think. Although, I'm up a pawn, and yes, this is a good move. Of course, this is mate, so I have to take probably. And g5 doesn't work, of course. It's mate. Um, but king h7 should work. No check. I'm probably threatening to take and play rook g6, so h5. Very natural move. Um, takes. Knight h5. Crazy f5. Knight. Here. Okay, should I do something? Knight g5 is coming. But can I take? Can I play g6? G6 looks sick. Okay, he has 50 seconds. Let me figure out something. I have the... Oh. I have this. Hold on. Oh, but here. I'm pinned. Don't have the time. What am I doing? Takes knight h5. G6. I like g6. Why didn't I do that quicker? And g5. No check. Probably threatening to go here. Which now feels like very good for me. Oh, but the queen is defended. But still. I need to bring my queen back. From the defense. I mean, from I don't know where. Excuse me for the silence. I need to play. And there it goes, the game. Let's go. Okay, I outplayed him in a time scramble. I have the highest rapid rating ever on chess.com. And let's analyze the game now. So this is the game review of the game I just played. I played fairly okay with 86% accuracy. My opponent played with 80. I mean, I was always slightly better, I think. So e4 was played. I played c6, of course. D4, d5. Not d3, excuse me. D4 and d5. And now he played the main line with the e5 with the advanced variation of the Caro. Now bishop d3 is not the best move. I can simply take and play e6, and I have the perfect pawn structure here. 92, interesting. I didn't know this move, and I simply played 97, which is not the best move. But okay, castles and c5 is fine. C3 and I took. Maybe not the best move already. After takes, 97 was my idea. Knight c6, of course. And now knight d2. I thought the knight is getting to c3, but nevertheless, knight c6. A3, bishop e7. Queen g3, and I simply castled right into it. But I don't think there is something after knight f3. I played the second best move, which is bad move actually. Now after bishop h6, I just have bishop f8, of course, defending against the threat of mate. Bishop g5. Now yes, queen b6, very natural move, but it's hard to make that move actually. I played bishop e7. Yes, not the best move, but okay, you can repeat here, by the way. Bishop f8, of course, only move, and then you go back. But I probably play queen b6 here. Yes. He played h4, and now I simply took, of course. He took with the knight. I played h6, which I think is fine. And now I'm better slightly. Knight h3, queen b6, and I'm piling on the pressure towards all the pawns. I thought he might play queen c3 here. But yes, after rook c8, the position is hard to play. The knight is getting to c4. Okay, he played rook fd1 and I took on b2, of course. If we play rook b1 here, I take the knight and I win the game. Knight f4, defending the pawn like that. The knight, excuse me. Now, queen c2, rook d3, I was trying to get to the defense. And now I played this move, king h8, not the best move. Rook c1, queen a5, knight g5, and now rook g8, of course, only move. What happens if I play g6? Hold on. Queen f... Oh. Okay. Oh, I cannot go to g7, that's my problem. Aye. Yeah, so I thought g6 was simply bad. I didn't see queen f4, but intuition said that rook g8 was definitely better. Queen f4 and now rook f8. Here I was thinking that I'm gonna lose. Because look at my king. There are 2 pieces attacking it, 3 pieces attacking it, and I just have rooks that will defend my king. But apparently that's enough. Knight f6, and now I can take, which was a bad move. What? Knight c takes on e5 was better. Oh, utilizing the pin. Of course. Logical. I'm just bad at chess. I took, he took, and I played king h7, of course, only move. Takes, no, he didn't take, excuse me. Knight g3 was played, but now this gives me time to play g6. If g5, I looked at this move, but I didn't think, oh, I don't take with the pawn, I take with the rook, that's the idea. I should have played that. g6 is still fine, but now I was starting to get low on time as well, and I was blitzing out these moves. So don't go harsh on me. Queen d8, just the idea is queen b8, and just to trade off the pieces. And now g5 again, the best move. Wow. I was trying to do something on the queen side here. Very quick moves, of course, by both of us. And the evaluation is roughly the same. Now g5 is the best move. I talked simply, oh, I don't have h5, knight h5. Yeah. If I go here, you don't take, because I get g5. But yes, that's hard. I mean, he played a4, now knight c4, takes and takes. And I started to push, and now he blundered the game, knight d2, and he took here, and I took the queen, and he resigned, and we have the highest rapid rating ever on my chess.com account, which is 2128. Let me go full screen for the outro. So yes, we have our highest rapid rating ever. I played the time scramble pretty okay, so I'm happy with that. Yesterday I also won my classical slow standard game of chess in my league in my club in Slovenia here. I'm very happy with that too. I will make a recap of that game when I analyze the game without a computer. I do it without a computer firstly, and then I looked at the evaluation, and of course I just game review the game. But firstly, yes, I'm analyzing the game for like 2 hours. And then I see where I went wrong, but that's not the point of today's video. The point is that we have the highest rapid rating ever. Let's go. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. I will be reading and answering all of your comments. And as always, if you like the video, please consider liking and subscribing. It would really help me out. And see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.